couple things. Obviously, a lot of different situational work. We had 2-minute team run, move the ball. I thought it was real good work. A lot of film for us to study. Anytime you switch opponents like this, you get a whole new set of looks defensively, offensive formations, and I thought overall it went pretty well. Any questions?
Any initial impressions on how it went in the 2 minutes?
Well, look, we're going to go through that, and the key thing Anthony and I talked about it. You try to get a flow and you try to get some reps in. So we'll look at the tape. I think there was 2 or 3 different turnovers either side, but you're trying to put yourself in a game-like situation where you're playing fast.
Coach, around the league, there's been a lot of scuffles during joint practices. Here it was pretty clean today.
I think listen, I don't know that I would agree with that. There's been a scuffle or 2, and every year there seems to be. But we've worked with these guys before, and it was real good tempo.
Sean, you had 3 cuts the other day. Are you sort of at the point where you're just preparing the roster now, or are you going to keep adding guys?
Well, either or. We're not set on the number we're at right now, and we're paying attention, each day to what happens transaction-wise. So I wouldn't say either. It was just a matter of looking at, guys that we want to focus the reps on and guys that, that we were moving on from. So, we still got a couple weeks.
How impressed are you by the Chargers defense and the way they're able to stop the run and blitz the pass?
Listen, I said this to these guys earlier. A year ago, both these teams were sitting here like really in the middle of tough divisions, and I don't know necessarily if either were picked to do well in their division, but I think that these guys have done a really good job of acquiring the right guys to fit their scheme, and they've got a quarterback that is experienced and extremely talented. So when you have those combinations, those are the ingredients to win.
Sean, do you have any early impressions of Davenport? He was able to get back out today.
We'll see on the film once we look at it. I know he was going to be in a limited role. He was going to get some work today, but in a limited fashion. So we'll have a chance to watch the film.
Your impression overall of everything Jonathan Williams has done the last couple of weeks, has your impression of him evolved at all in the last couple of weeks?
Well, it is with every player. I mean, when you're watching the film as a staff, you're constantly looking at how they're doing. He's been steady. There's some things that he still needs to work on. He's got, I think, pretty good vision and balance. So, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, some of that gets a little bit clearer with the rest of the competition.
Kind of reducing the variables for Traquan Smith the other day. Is that just kind of like finding some small things that he can perfect, and then like as the season progresses, letting him?
Yeah, I think, look, with a young player, you want to define a role, and then begin to expand on it. But he's someone that we're working primarily at one of the receiver spots, and then I think it's important that we're not throwing him everywhere. So, but he's picking things up. He plays physical. He plays hard. It's just him getting up to speed with the nuances and what we're looking at doing, not only in the passing game but also as a blocker.
Cam Meredith looks like he's kind of coming on a little bit stronger lately.
He's healthy, so it's good to get him back and get him working.
Is he more of a Z too, Sean?
Austin Carr, have you seen something developing him recently?
No, it's nothing we haven't seen prior. He's just now starting to get work with the ones. He's smart. He's a guy that does a good job in the slot. He's got real good football instincts.
Meredith and Traquan, are they both more like Z receivers? Or?
No, Traquan's playing over at the Z and Meredith's playing at the X. But with Cam's experience, he's played inside. He's played at a few different spots.
Sean, I know it might be weird to evaluate a guy like Breeze in camp. I mean, you guys, what kind of camp do you have? I mean, it's been 12, 13 years.
Yeah, listen, I think it's going well. There's an extreme amount of detail that goes in each day when you watch his preparation. I think he's doing real well. He'll play in this game, and the key is getting him, but also everyone else around him up to speed as we get ready to open the season. And there is a sense of urgency all the time at this time of the year in camp to clean up some of the mistakes, pay attention to the details, and paint the right picture for whoever's playing quarterback.
You talked about the preseason game the other night, again, maybe not running right. You're talking about that, painting the picture?
All those things go into, look, they enhance that position, or they can, hurt that position. So the attention to detail with what we're doing in the passing game is very important. It's still something that is a work in progress. And then obviously when you're able to play defense and run the ball, those are pretty good allies as well.
Coach, I apologize if
That's
you
right.
asked this before. What's the greatest benefit at this point in camp when you're out here for 2 days? And if you had a perfect world of these 2 days?
Well, look, I think the one big thing is it changes the routine, and I think that's good in our league because we're constantly changing. But also, you're working against a different defense than your own, and I don't mean just a different defense, but how they play defense. It's different. You know, the coverage schemes are different. What they do offensively, specifically with the run game, what they do with certain formations, they're different. And I think when you do that, you, especially for 2 or 3 days like we are, you have a chance to see some of the maybe the weaknesses or holes in certain areas that we haven't seen at home against our own offense and defense. So I think it's good when you have a chance to change the routine up and get good work with another team and another team that's doing the same thing.
It's hard to mimic competition at a next level. Are you seeing that when?
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's good spirited. Both these teams last year did a great job of competing and yet understanding that we're both here to get better, and so with those common goals, I think you end up with a real positive experience.
Is it good to see Alex Okafor out here in jersey, pads, all that?
Yeah,
I know he did.
Yeah, he'll be back here fairly soon, and fortunately, his injury last week wasn't anything significant. Yeah.
Sean, inside your quarterback room, how important is the relationship between the starter and the guys that are backing him up? And what's that process like, getting those guys together so that in a game week they can all kind of...
Well, look, there's a certain schedule and teaching progression and pattern that we're accustomed to, and so the guys new to that, the new quarterbacks, it might be a new quarterback coach, or fortunately we've had a lot of continuity from the staff side of it. So it's really bringing them up to speed in regards to the installation, but also the learning curve, what we're doing, how we study film. Right now they're exposed to that schedule in training camp. They haven't been exposed to necessarily in season that schedule, which will change. But I think that opportunity for a younger quarterback to come in with a player like Drew is, it's invaluable. I think they have a chance to see all the things that go into playing that position well.
Is he collaborative in that sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you think Kamara had the element of a surprise on his behalf last year, and maybe this year it'll be tougher?
So at what point in the season last year was it no longer a surprise? Like week 3?
Yeah.
So then what happened week 8?
But you don't think
Was it a surprise week 10? How about week 14? No, I think he's a good football player. He's a good football player. I don't think now look, our preseason game against this team a year ago, the first play of the game, he took a handoff for 50 yards and a touchdown. That was a little bit, but I think our league quickly examines closely what teams do, their tendencies, who's doing what rookies are playing extremely well, and I don't think it's a league where, with all the film access we have, that is filled with many surprises, if any.
and how's he done in this?
Good. He's doing well. He's doing well.